This deck is generally designed to prey on the more fair decks in the format, and the more fair decks in the format have been overloading on Graveyard Hate recently, so... And this is just like, you know, Dredge mulligans a lot, so... You know, this hand is kind of insane, right? Like, we've got Cathartic, we've got Spirit Guide, but we just don't have a Dredger, so there's no... You have 3 relics in your main deck? That's obnoxious. And then this hand has a land and has a Dredger, but it has no way to get a Dredger into the graveyard and start drawing cards, so we have to mulligan it. This hand is certainly a keep. I'm gonna bottom this Gemstone Mine. I think I'm... Boogles or something like that. I wonder if this matchup is bad. The Moto Magic Online's not down every Wednesday morning. Are they planning downtime this morning? This might have been a bad time to fire Pursuit if they're planning downtime this morning. I thought we had downtime last week and there wouldn't be this week, but I didn't actually check. Just gonna go Dakmor Salvage go here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this matchup's bad for us too if this is Boogles. Ad Nauseum's also bad for this deck as well. Maybe I shouldn't have. There'd been a reason I'd been putting off this deck. Well, probably. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I looked into pub. Declan, please stop yelling. I looked into pub at one point, but it doesn't run. It doesn't run via Wine, and they don't have a native Linux client, so I play games very casually, and casual games are not a reason to install Windows. Declan, I'm gonna take your tablet away if you keep yelling. So don't yell. There you go. See, you understand that. Yeah, we're gonna end up conceding very quickly here if they have a reasonable start. And ditch these two. Miss on a second Dredger like we do every time. Ooh, we got a second Dredger. That's exciting. Ooh, we got a third Dredger. Gosh, we're lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. We had a Narco and a Prized Amalgam. Man, if we lose this game, I'm probably just going to concede the match. That's not true. I guess I have a couple of sideboard cards. Got 3 Nature's Clay, an Ancient, and a Abrupt Decay. I think the Twitch chat line is Darkblast the 1/1. Yeah, I actually think Boogles is likely well positioned in Modern right now. I posted on Twitter about that the other day. I think this deck's a very reasonable choice. We have a Life from the Loam in our discard pile, so we'll probably dredge that. And then grab some lands, and then Faithless Looting. Dredge performed pretty poorly at the Pro Tour. It didn't perform quite as bad as some decks like Storm, but it did have a pretty bad weekend. We put 2 more Bloodghasts in our bin there. We have a Conflagrate that doesn't do anything, unfortunately. We're gonna do this, flip these Bloodghasts back into play. If opponent doesn't have a lifelink enchantment, we might have a chance here. We might have a chance. Probably not true. We probably don't have a chance, but we're gonna give it the old college best here. We got 2 Stinkweed Imps in there, so we have to flip over 10 more cards. Maybe hit a Narcomoeba and all 3 of our other prized amalgams. If that happens, we could maybe do stuff. Yes, this Faithless Looting. Dredge this. Dredge this. Card these 2. Alright, we hit a Narco and 2 more prized amalgams. So you're saying there's a chance. Don't Daybreak Chord at me, opponent. Don't do it. Have a heart. Don't Daybreak Chord at me, opponent. If we can dodge the Daybreak Coronet, we've got a lot of angry power in play. Is it lethal yet? It says we actually have exactly lethal if they don't have lifelink, because they block this and then they take 6, 12, 13, 14. So if they don't have a lifelink enchantment, we actually have them dead, which is sweet to steal a game here because this matchup's really bad for us. I said we had to hit a bunch of amalgams, and we did it along with the Narcomoeba, so see if we could continue running hot and them not have a lifelink enchantment. This is the mating call of Daybreak Coronet. Good on, folks. Hanging out, playing some Modern. Oh, I just need to give up doing ab exercises every time I do them. I'm miserable for the next 2 days. That's a Glade cover scout. This means opponent's not dead on board. That means they're not dead on board. That's good for us, chat. That's really good for us. Okay. We're gonna start by A space smash face here. We have a Darkblast. Could just kill the Glade cover scout. They didn't have the stupid ley line. We could kill them with Conflagrate. Good line from the opponent, blocking the ones that have the hardest time coming back. 1, 2. Go ahead and flashback one of these Faithless Lootings in here, because that's what we do. This is how we do. Do we hit the last Bloodghast in there? We have to go ahead and floop this into play, which floops the Bloodghast, which floops the Prized Amalgams. Opponent said daybreak in chat twice, and I responded with no whammy. Aha! Victory! My undead army. That's from a mold of 5 too. Okay, so Conflagrate is unplayable here, right? You definitely want the Grudge and the Claims. Is Driven to Despair good in this matchup? The Menace on Despair actually seems like it might be relevant. Darkblast is pretty bad. Get to cut that one too. Those are easy cuts. Is this a card I'm interested in playing? Or can I just like not beat a Voltron anyways? Done. You're right. Just be consistent. Block everyone. I don't think Gnaw is good. Like, is this better than other cards in my deck? I feel like it's not. Nah, we block most people. Nah, this is an extra stream. It's not on the schedule. That's why you should make sure you're following on Twitch and Twitter. Get notifications when we go live. The only scheduled streams are the 4 afternoons a week. I'm gonna do my best to fit in extras though, because the donation queue is overflowing. I want to do my best to not make people wait. This game seems pretty good. Needs a second land at some point, but it's got a Nature's Claim. Got Spirit Guide, Stinkweed Imp. Our opponent's mulligan to 2. Nice Boogles deck, opponent. Nice Boogles deck. You have a sub badge, Rollins. It didn't pop up a notification. Can you use your words? Why is it good? Is it good because of the menace? Because like their hand's usually empty, right? Got this here Street Wraith. Cycle during the second main. Dredge this year Stinky. You want to cycle during their second main phase, because if we hit Prized Amalgam, plus a Narcomoeba, we want to flip it into play right away. They have to play defensively. Team's really slow on the draw. I guess that's fair though. Too super fun. To be fair, we always use that like Magic as Garfield intended as kind of like a meme in Magic, but like Richard Garfield never intended Constructed to be a format that people played. He just thought people were going to play sealed deck. I think this is a keep. Darkblast plus Cathartic's not particularly good. If we're really lucky, our opponent will play a derpy creature on one that we can Darkblast to Dredge the Sun to. Yeah. Yeah, Constructed was a player driven thing. Perfect. They have a Leyline? Is this another Leyline deck? Oh, Gemstone Caverns. Well, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. We could have Blood Moon deck. What are we exiling? What are we exiling? Yes, we are some kind of Blood Moon Stompy deck. Got it. Sure, we don't actually care about that card. I guess it stops our Faithless Lootings down the line, but like we have a double Cathartic hand here, so man, if they Blood Moon us, it would actually help us, right? Come on, one more Dredger. That's really sad. And we drew a Faithless Looting. Well, at least we're bringing a Prized Amalgam back here. I guess if they Blood Moon us, I won't be able to... What's it called? I won't be able to, Life from the Loam, which would be a little bit sad. Hopefully they're not an Anger of the Gods deck. Tormenting Voice, sure. It's a good way to deal with extra Gemstone Caverns. Stinkweed Imp was the very next card. What a tilt. Do I want to dredge this Dakmor Salvage? Yeah, I think I do. I think I want to just put this This Bloodghast into play. Ooh, we hit another Prized Amalgam too. Oh, you upgraded your sub. Awesome. Thank you for that, Rollins. Make sure you DM me to talk about what you want your big sub donation deck to be for the month. Yeah, I think it doesn't give you the option to have turn off auto yields. I messed up here kind of badly. I should cycle this Street Wraith. We're gonna hit another Bloodghast here and I'm gonna be sad. Yeah, I'm down to Bloodghast because my sequencing is bad. I forgot I had the thing in my hand. Forgot I had a thing in my hand. Yeah, Flashback Conflag doesn't care about Chalice of the Void. That is correct. The Blood Moon. Nope, just Tormenting Voice. It's just easier to play in paper online. I think it depends on the player. I think it's actually probably easier to play online once you get used to it. Ensnaring Bridge. Wow. Okay, so my mistake could very easily cost me this game. So we haven't hit a Conflagrate yet, but I should have a Bloodghast in play here, and I don't because I messed up. Can we hit a Conflagrate, please? If I would have hit a Conflagrate there, I could have conflagrated them to a very low number and then made up for my mistake. Darkblast our dude for 2 damage. That's a fucking great line. Props to you. That's not something I thought about. Mad props to PVT Vendetta with the sick plays. You're 10 out of 10 gonna Darkblast our own shitter here. That is certainly the line. Oh, I can't Darkblast my own guy. There's a Chalice on one. I take away all of the props. None of the props belong to you. You should be sad. Be sad now. Do I want to take away the 2 cards that are in their hand? That's probably worthwhile, right? And then I'm just going to dredge into Conflagrate and kill them. Their last 2 cards they probably want to keep. So I've missed 2 points of damage because of my missequencing last turn. They've now missed 2 points of damage because of my play. They empty their hand, so we're not going to be able to attack anymore. Yeah, we got a Magus of the Moon out of there. That's good for us. I wanted to get rid of the Magus, that way we can keep life from the Loaming. Sadness is on the stack. Sadness resolves. Chandra's kind of scary. So I need to dredge into Conflagrate ASAP. So do I want to dredge the Stinkweed Imp for the most looks, or do I want to dredge the Loam to get the most hits if I get it? I'm gonna dredge Loam, hopefully find it anyways. 2 Narcomoebas, yep. I don't have a scheduled stream on Wednesdays, but opted not to go to the gym this morning because I'm lazy and fat. So here we are. Yep, go. Do you have a link to a sub/donation work to your channel? I see resub X times, X bits, X donation at the bottom left. I'm kind of new to Twitch. So donations, there's just a donation link under the stream, and that you just click on there and it takes you to Streamlabs to send the donation through. And bits are a thing you buy through Twitch. If you look on the top of the channel, there should be an option to cheer somewhere. And if you buy bits, you could then use the cheering option there. All of those go through and pop up in the notifications there because integrations are sweet. All right, we hit a Conflagrate. Remember that 2 points of damage I missed? Anyone remember that 2 points of damage I missed? So I get to play this life from the Loam, And I get to hit my opponent for 10 points of damage here. Remember that time we missed? I missed 2 points of damage. I have 10 cards in hand, right? What are bits? What are bits, Aneronix? You got no idea what those are, right? I would not like to redirect to Chandra. Alright, so now we just hope to dredge this Loam into another Conflagrate next turn. We have one more in our 17 cards. Is it better to donate directly through PayPal or whatever than through bits? So the TLDR is it's effectively the same. The bits, basically, the difference between bits and donations is when you use bits, you pay the fee up front as opposed to me taking the fee on the back end. So like if you donate $12, I get less money than if you donated 1,200 bits, but you also sent more money with the 1,200 bits possible. It is not possible to damage the Planeswalker and the player with Conflagrate, which sucks because we are going to be dead to Chandra Alt plus a spell next turn. Yep, the two damage really mattered. All right, so we have to hope to get a little bit lucky here. My next Conflagrate needs to be in my next 3 cards. And it was, because this is a No Justice stream. I will take these 3, and then I will kill you in spite of the fact that I messed up. Like to Conflagrate you for 3 points of damage. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, that's true too. That's the nice upside of bits. I know bits are guaranteed money, whereas PayPal people can do chargebacks. But I haven't personally have issues with chargebacks yet, but it's definitely a thing that can and does happen. All right, so all of these cards come in. This is probably not a matchup for this. This is definitely a matchup for the extra Conflagrate. Darkblast looking pretty bad here. The Mountain didn't attack because Ensnaring Bridge is symmetrical. I mean, Magic Online's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. And speaking as someone who mostly lives in the middle of nowhere, cost of living is generally cheap. All right, what am I boarding out here? I think the Street Wraiths are just like kind of free-ish cuts. Yeah, that is going to be a rule change coming up because they changed it for MTG Arena and they're going to change the paper game to match at some point. What a fair and balanced card. Yeah, like my 2,400 square foot house with a very large lot is not much, especially compared to like what my parents pay to live in Chicago. Is it nuts to cut some of my creatures in a matchup like this? That's gotta be nuts, right? Yeah, especially because I'm bringing in a bunch of ways to kill the bridge. Are the nature's claims just not good enough? I live in Bloomington, Illinois. It's like 2 hours straight south of Chicago, which is actually an okay place. We have a public university and a private university here, and State Farm and Country Insurance have large headquarters here. I just want to bring in these. I don't know, do I really care about Blood Moon? I probably kind of care about Blood Moon, right? Because it keeps me off of Loam doing this stuff. But then I have to care about Chalice. I guess I could trim some of these because of Chalice. Let's do that. Do that. I think I'm going to keep this. We're just gonna move to hand size on one. I've got my Ancient Grudge in the opener, so that's really nice for fighting through bridges. Well, I think because they have Chalice, the stock in Ancient Grudge goes up. And we hit a Faithless Looting on one, because I'm a goddamn professional. JK, move to hand size. What do you think this is? What do you think this is, chat? Yeah, I'm not quite that much middle of nowhere. Sun Droplet. Yup. Turn Dredge old Stinky here. Huh, so this is interesting. Do I want to double Spirit Guide Bloodghast? I think I want to double Spirit Guide, play the Faithless Looting, because I want to be able to bring Bloodghast back with the land I play for this turn. I think I'm going to grab this Salvage for now, too. So I'm going to ditch this Bloodghast, ditch this Stinkweed Imp. So this triggers, we'll get 6 power into play here on turn 2. It's pretty decent turn. They certainly have Anger of the Gods post board. Hey, Kevoth, Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that, as always. Subs are the absolute best way to support my content here. Y'all are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do. I think the solution to all the deck lists is a 24-hour stream. God, 24-hour streams are just so tough on my body. And I'm effectively an old man at this point. In fact, speaking of, I didn't go to the gym today. We should be standing. Oh, I might go to the gym tonight, but just in case I don't, I should stand up. So probably just land flashback looting here. Amazon Prime is great. I don't know how regular people live without Amazon Prime. We hit 2 more. We hit another Bloodghast. Pretty good. Go to the gym tonight. Revan with the correct messages. I should in fact go to the gym tonight. Ditch these two. Passed. We did not hit another amalgam there, which kind of sucks, but I mean we've also got what, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9 power in play. I've done 24-hour Magic streams before. We've definitely a thing I've done in the past. I paid you, so now you have to. That is mostly how things work around here, isn't it? Okay, this is boding well for us. Good lord, that's good for us. Alright, what am I doing here? Probably just flashing back another Faithless Looting. They Sweltering Suns us, which I'm hoping means they don't have Angers. Do I want to Ancient Grudge this, or do I want to... I probably just want a Faithless Looting, right? Because I wanted to give myself a chance to... Although I'm through most of my Narcomoebas, right? I'm through most of my Narcomoebas. I think I'm just sending this at Chandra and attacking the rest of them. And I'm going to go ahead and Loam plus Ancient Grudge flashback the Sun Droplet, I think, so they don't gain this health back. Sun Droplet is like some old school technology. Card I haven't seen in a long time. Play this. Flashback this here. I'd probably leave this alone if I didn't have another answer to Ensnaring Bridge in my hand, but I do. I just like the content's better for everyone if I just like do like a couple of 7 or 8 hour blocks rather than like trying to do a 24-hour one. Although I get that Twitch enjoys watching people be miserable. It's definitely a thing that is true. This is probably a Conflagrate turn. Let's dredge this since I already have a Loam in my hand. We hit a Bloodghast. That's great for us. All right, so if I Loam first here, I can actually kill this plus do enough damage to them, I believe, to give my Bloodghast haste. I think that's true. I haven't counted. That might not be true. I think that's true. We're going to go up to 9 cards in my hand. I have to play 1. So yeah, we're going to be able to give it haste. Are they dead this turn? They might actually be dead this turn. There's a Conflagrate. Conflagrate's the card that is the reason why Dredge is insane, by the way, for people that haven't played it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't actually see how much damage I'm assigning, so I have to count it out there manually. Discard 8 cards. Am I supposed to hold... I'm dealing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think... Am I supposed to hold this Ancient Grudge? Probably not. They have to go like land, relic, pop relic into bridge. Yeah. It might be conservative to hold... It might be conservative to hold the Ancient Grudge in my hand, but like, you know, kill you. I mean, I don't do it after other things, at least, right? I always make sure to, like, do 24-hour streams when I can, like, I wake up and then I start the 24-hour stream immediately. That's true. For a large amount of money, I would definitely put myself through a 24-hour stream. I'm just saying that, like, the content's better when I space it out. That's why I've been doing some more weekend streams. Chandra, okay. Alright, so you're dead on board? Dredge life from Loam. Loam back some lands, floop some speedy Bloodghast into play. We are 2-0. 2-0. Thank you, everyone that's hanging out here this morning. It's not one of my normal stream slots. Normally we stream. Our schedule is every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon. But we have just so many donation deck lists that I'm just trying to fit extra ones in when I'm home and I can, and I have all my other work done. So thanks, everyone, for hanging out. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jeff Hogan. We play Magic most days on this channel. If you're enjoying what you see, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, helps the people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch. That's the absolute best way you can support my content here. Eventually, I'm going to be doing this full time once my semester wraps up. The community's been kind of awesome, and it's kind of exploded and great. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. M2JoeTraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hogan PayPal at checkout, then you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, bags. Lots of sweet stuff there. You can upload your own artwork or choose the artwork that they have on their website. Glad you're streaming. Got a sick kid today, so I just get to chill with y'all. Yeah, sick kids are tough. Man, I always thought, like, you being sick was the worst, but, like, after I became a parent, the absolute worst is when, like, your kid gets sick and then they get you sick and then you're just, like, both there miserable together, but you need to take care of them while also being miserable. It's tough. We're part of the hottest new Overwatch team. Overwatch has been fun. Been a nice blow-off Steam game. When Jake started preschool last year, we just went through so many like little bits of sick right in a row, just because, like, you get all the little germ carriers in the same classroom and they just germinate together. Love to play first. No lands. Gonna take a do-over. Yeah, it seems pretty good, right? It needs a second land. Perfect. Perfect. Fantabulous. So we'll go ahead and do this. And we'll go ahead and Faithless Looting. Fun fact, they actually give, most schools give first-year teachers extra sick days because of the amount of germs that they're going to experience that their bodies just aren't used to on average. How do you file for comp on Magic Online? Hold on, I have it bookmarked. Issue report form. You have to create a second account, second Wizards account here, and then you can do it there. Speaking as someone who files for comp fairly frequently, that's your link. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Insolent Neonate. Ditch this Golgari Thug. I'm dredging first before I play my land because we could hit more Bloodghast. This is a pretty medium start for us here. We only hit one Bloodghast and no Amalgams in 17 cards. And I mean, like, to be fair, speaking as someone who's played, like, a lot of Magic Online for a pretty long time, I actually file for less bugs than I used to, but, like, I also play a lot of Magic, right? Like, I play Magic Online probably, I don't know, 30 to 40 hours a week a lot of the time. So, not to defend bugs like Wall of Roots that are terrible and should have been fixed a decade ago, but a lot of it's not nearly as bad as a lot of times people make it out to be. Oh, because I'm not clicking a third. Okay, so that's highlighted that. I can't tell. All right, like this. How could I tell if I select? All right, we're gonna hit cancel and we're gonna try again. Cast Life from the Loam. Click on this. Click on this. Hit OK. All right, I successfully targeted 2 lanes. We did it, Reddit. This is definitely the pain lands aren't free in the mana base. The pain lands aren't free. We're taking a lot of damage from our mana here. What do you say is our favorite donation deck list ever? It's probably a toss-up between Land Nauseum and Jeskai Ascendancy. Those are both decks that I had a lot of fun with and I ended up playing more of off stream and just like paying my own money to play leagues with them just because they were a gas. It's a go Ape, yep. Well, I mean, there's really not much to rant about. It's just like, you know, it's been broken for over 2 years. So, like, why is it still broken? We flipped over Driven to Despair. Is that even good at this point? I don't think it is. I think I want to just flashback Faithless Looting. I want to just flash this back. So we want to attack before we play our land, because they'll probably block the Bloodghast. I think Tron will be playable if Ancient Grudge gets banned on Monday. I mean, it'll be playable. It won't be as good, but it'll definitely be playable. Fatal Push is a pretty good hit there. A good hit for them. And then we're taking 6 next turn, potentially. Did I only hit 1 Prized Amalgam? That's really unfortunate. So we got really lucky earlier when we hit all those Prized Amalgams in a row against Boogles, but sometimes you just don't have Prized Amalgams in the top half of your deck. Or you only have 1 in the top 35 cards in this case. So, you know, this deck is pretty consistent because it sees a lot of cards every game, but, you know, sometimes they're all in the bottom bit. I would much prefer Eldrazi Tron be the Tron deck of choice. That Tron deck is much easier to interact with. Much easier to interact with. There's a reason why I refer to it as bad Tron on this stream. Burgle, you're so aggro. Can they attack here? Man, that's aggressive. Man, that's aggressive. I think they correctly identified the right line, though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, if they don't have another Fatal Push here, I actually have them exactly dead. If they don't have a Fatal Push here, I'm going to have them exactly dead. Because of Driven to Despair. Yeah, if they don't have Fatal Push, we get to hit them for 8. That's unblockable because it has Menace. And then I get to flashback this Conflagrate for 4. So no Fatal Push, no Fatal Push, no Fatal Push, no Fatal Push. Lantern Day is going to be tomorrow afternoon. Yeah! What a close game. What a close game. Sweet. Getting game 1 feels good. That's the one you need to win, because the post-board games get harder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 0 confirmed to be different numbers, you know? Bleed for our mana. Boop, 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 boop. Blast you. Steam rockets blasting off again! Nah, I'm just not having a good time with Hex. I just need to take a break. Probably maybe at some point in the future, but I don't know. It's tough to make room. The Magic stuff's kind of taken off, so it's hard to justify doing streams of other games when the Magic stuff is doing so well. I don't think this is a Darkblast matchup. I wonder if this is a Lightning Axe matchup. They think they bring in Neil Spellbomb. I'm gonna take a random sampling of green black list really quick. Watch these. They're a small indie company, right? They almost certainly have Skoos, right? That was like why I added this card to my deck. Does black-green usually play? Let's take a peekaboo here. They usually have Skoos in their main deck. And they usually have some mix of Surgicals. Okay, so sometimes they just have Surgicals. Okay, so if Surgicals or Cage or Spellbombs. I think I'm just going to hedge then. I'm going to cut these 2 Deodates. Yeah, that too. It's definitely like... interacting with certain parts of the Hex community makes me just never want to play the game ever again, regardless of how good or bad it is. I know that just like it's definitely like a vocal minority for the most part, but it's just like hard to drown it out sometimes. It's just like if Hex isn't paying me large amounts of money, like it needs to be fun, and let those people make it not fun. I don't want to get caught up ranting about that kind of stuff. We're playing Magic. Let's focus on Dredge. Like, this hand's close. So, my metric for do I mulligan close hands is that having Narcomoeba in your opener kind of sucks because you really want this card to be in your deck to flip out Prized Amalgams quickly. But, like, it's hard to pass up Looting plus Stinkweed Imp. Well, I mean, they don't really lose money for comping people, right? Like, it doesn't cost them money to give people tickets and play points. Like, there's no guarantee that the people they're comping things back to would instead pay them money if they weren't getting comped. So, like, I think that, like, that assumption I don't think is strictly correct. I think there's some amount of, like, we could get, like, some amount of them would, but not all of them. I want to keep this. That's close. It's really close. I want to keep this. I want to keep this. I think I could see throwing this back because of Narcomoeba and just like... You are one of my inspirations for playing back. My wife blames you for everything. Well, I'm going to tell you, and you can forward this to your wife, that playing Magic on the computer is easier, more convenient, and more profitable than playing Magic in paper. So please don't blame me if you're still playing paper Magic, because my full endorsement is to play Magic on the computer. In fact, I look back on it's tax season again, so like I was looking back on my tax seasons from the last couple of years, and it's sad how much, like, I did well on the tour, and it's sad how much money I make. Like, whenever they have the PT top 8s up and they put like the lifetime earnings up of some of the players, I always find it incredibly sad, because like some of these players are like, this person's been playing Magic for 20 years, and they've got a bunch of PT top 8s and Grand Prix top 8s, and like the number they put up there is like 50 grand, or maybe it's barely into the 6 figures over 20 years, and like 6 figures looks like a lot of money, but when you divide that amount of money over 2 decades, it's like, oh, that's really, oh. I am running in wine. I actually don't have that great of a graphics card. I only have a 10. I guess the 1060 is okay. It's like a mid-range graphics card of a GTX 1060. If Overwatch continues to be a game that I play when graphics cards come back, I think I'm going to look into getting a 1080, but when I bought my 1060, I never intended to play a game newer than Skyrim on my computer, so it was supposed to be fine for that. Well, Eldorthin, so I'm running... just like I'm running Magic Online through Wine, I'm running Overwatch through Wine, and Wine's support of... What's the word I'm searching for? Wine's support of DirectX 11 applications isn't perfect, so it definitely runs slightly worse on my computer under Wine than it would natively on Windows, but like, I'm not installing Windows just to play Overwatch, you know, 5 to 10 hours a week, if that. I can't make NVIDIA, but the only time I've ever had an issue with NVIDIA on Linux is their hybrid Intel cards on laptops, but desktop cards always just work without a hitch. Proprietary driver is really well done. Man, these are pretty bad dredges. Alright, we hit a prized amalgam on the last one, I guess. Move, Kaiba. I'm planning on buying a new tower for gaming. Do you have any suggestions? No, my kid brother put together, I guess he's not a kid anymore, he's an adult now. My brother put together my tower mostly. I don't think I have anything specifically useful. They flip over with Bob, the swamp that they played. Okay. They must have a surgical extraction or something, right? Like why they kept their hand for a reason. Yeah, okay, so there's the surgical extraction. Yeah, GPU and RAM prices are definitely high right now. That's one of the reasons why, like, if like, I paid like $220 for my 1060 less than a year ago, and they're like over 400 now, I think, when I checked on Amazon. Sad Hex community pushed you away from the game. Always love your content there. Hope you're able to come back someday. Until then, keep meaning Google Shot. Hey, Griffin Bruce, 18-month resubscription. Thanks a lot. Welcome back, bud. I do appreciate that. Year and a half. When I'm taking a peek at how we sideboarded here. So what do I want to do? We're out of amalgams. We're out of amalgams. So I could just kill their board, right? Is that the line? We can win with Conflagrates and Bloodghast and stuff. I have 2 Bloodghasts in my bin right now. I think I have a 6 GB. I'm not actually sure offhand. Yeah, we got 6 GBs. Look at that. You probably can't see it. Hey! After the PT, any new thoughts on bannings? I think they're not going to change anything. If anything, I think they'll unban some stuff potentially. No, like I said, it was a while ago and it was cheap. Alright, so we hit a Driven to Despair in there. I wonder if they have another surgical extraction here. If they have a surgical for the Bloodghast, things are going to get kind of dicey. Actually, I have it written down how much I paid for it. I might be misremembering. What did I pay? No, $240, $239.99. That's how much I paid for it less than a year ago. What would your ban, unban ideal list be? I actually wrote an article on Gathering Magic kind of talking about that. But after looking at the PT, I think I'd reassess. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that would make me content with the current modern format is I would unban some stuff and I'd just ban the Tron lands. Possibly Eldrazi Temple, but honestly, the Temple's probably not that big of a offender. I think the Tron lands are part of the biggest problem with Modern right now. I think the Tron lands go a long way towards creating a lot of non-games of Magic. And not sell my kidneys. Yeah, I need to look. I have a micro ATX case, so I'm not actually sure if 1080s exist that will fit into my case. I might have to get a different case if I wanted to get a 1080. Yeah, I'm just gonna nuke their board here. There's no way we can race these without Prized Amalgams, so I think I just want to like ditch my hand and kill their 2 creatures that they have in play. Go. God, that's a beating. All right, they came to play. They knew what they wanted to beat, and that was Dredge. So we've got 3 Narcomoebas and 2 Bloodghast left in my deck. Just gonna Dredge Loam here and start filling my hand up so that way we can fire off a second Conflagrate when we need to. Cases are cheap. That's good to know. I also like don't have a ton of space on my desk, so like that's a thing too. Alright, there's a Narcomoeba. I think I'd rather keep my land in play and just keep taking extra damage here. We're definitely going to grab this mountain back, though. Grab a Gemstone Mine and a Mana Confluence here. I did not hit another Bloodghast, so I think I'm just passing the turn here. Yeah, I'm just going to pass back. Oh no! Oh no! How am I supposed to win the game now? How am I supposed to win the game now, opponent? That Bloodghast was supposed to deal 19 to you. My poor Bloodghast! He had big dreams! He was a dreamer! Oh, how many lands are in my bin? Just 2 more. Yeah, like I said, it's probably not going to be for a while. I'm not paying $500 for a graphics card, so just like Overwatch runs well enough on what I have. All right, there's only 19 cards left in our deck, so hopefully we can get to these last couple of Bloodghasts. I have one more Conflagrate in there too, so we're not completely out of gas, but their draw's been good this game. Draw's been pretty tough to keep up with. Yep. Don't have another land, that's good for us. Loam again. No Bloodghast still. It's kind of tough. Okay, we're gonna start preserving my health total here. Rebuy this. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get to Indy. Hopefully weather won't keep me out. I do have a Faithless Looting in here. Let's do that. You can dredge a Stinkweed Imp here. Flip that into play. Can I just give you like 3 play sets of cards and you build the rest of the deck? Yeah, definitely, Rollins. 10 out of 10. For the people that came in halfway through the Overwatch conversation, my desktop computer here is running Linux for work, and I really don't want to take the effort to set up a dual boot on it just for Overwatch, so it sounds kind of lazy, but I would rather just buy a better graphics card when the prices come down than set Windows up. Is that lazy? I don't know. That's probably lazy, but like having to reboot between work and playing games, like that sounds a lot of work, and then I lose my uptime. I had to restart my computer the other day. It was really sad. What did I have to restart for? My uptime. I got 6 days worth of uptime. That's so sad. Only 6 days worth of uptime. What's my netbook on? Love long uptime. If you only have uptime, is there such a thing as downtime? My netbook's coming up on half a year's worth of uptime, 177 days. Yeah, you are always welcome to post a decklist link. I personally won't look at it midstream, but other people might. I'm just gonna take this hit because we just need to. I need these Narcomoebas. These Narcomoebas are how we're winning this game. We've only got 6 cards in our deck. If I dredge a Loam, can we actually? I think we're just dead here. The Lantern Fund closed at 348. It's in the donation queue. Yeah, I've actually been playing it at 1440 with a reasonable amount. Rollins with $25 donation. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that. 4 Hazoret, 4 Traverse, 4 Walking Ballista. Enjoy your smart, thin, beautiful, muscular, hunky shield face. Oh, that's fun. All right, so all right. So I'm downscaling my 1440 monitor to 1080 because Twitch is a streaming service from the 90s and doesn't support streaming in 1440, which is sad. So my screen is in 1440 still, but I'm downscaling it for the plebeians that need it in that lower resolution. Because if you stream to Twitch in 1440, then people can't downscale it. At least I gave you playable cards. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is a pretty easy mulligan again here. We just need like to... yeah, sorry, I need to... Alright, sorry. Wipe my mouth here real quick. This is the best of the hands that we've kept for reference. I'm gonna top that. Do you like 2 Wraiths or would you run 4? It's tight. This is my deck list. This is a donation deck list. I just changed a few cards in the sideboard, the main deck's card for card what was submitted, but I don't know offhand at a glance what I'd be willing to cut for more Street Wraiths if I wanted to fix them. Tomorrow is the day Jeff realizes Lantern is his love and says he's bringing it to the open. Maybe that could happen. That could happen. No, I'm not gonna say it won't happen. But I am gonna say it sounds miserable. All right, so we missed on a land there. God, that sucks. If we would have hit a land in those 2 draws or a Spirit Guide, we would have actually had a pretty good chance this game. But I think the lack of a land there is gonna be a death knell for us. Pretty sure that's going to be a death knell, you know, plus whatever disruption they potentially have here. Oh, do you want to put that $25 on top of your increased sub donation deck list, Rollins? Doke, swing and a miss. Hopefully we can dredge. Perfect. That puts you right at the top. We'll probably start with, I'll kick something up for Friday then. So you're plus 35. Got it. We'll do Ezeret, Traverse, Walking Ballista. I can work with that. Yes, yeah, got you. $25 sub comes with the donation deck list with an extra 10 points to Democracy on top. We should play Pauper soon. That's definitely going to happen. Maybe over the weekend. Alright, I'm done. We mulligan to 4 and 3. We mulligan to 3. Sideboard cards, you know? And this specific build of Dredge that we're playing is not well. So, like, one of the things you do when you build Dredge is you kind of choose which graveyard hit you want to have counterplay against. And this sideboard is electing not to play any copies of Thoughtseize or Collective Brutality, which leaves us soft to hand-based hate like Ravenous Trap and Surgical Extraction. We're choosing to play things like Nature's Claim and Abrupt Decay and Lightning Axe, so we can interact with creature-based graveyard disruption and artifact and enchantment-based graveyard disruption, but we've chose to leave ourselves soft to those Surgicals and Ravenous Traps. We have two Pauper Nations. We have Blue-White Tribe and Tron Control. So that's probably, the Tron Control will be a long league, so that's probably enough to do a Pauper Day, just those two. Thanks everyone for hanging out this morning while we do some Modern, though. We're about an hour into our Dredge League. What is Ape Dredge? We've got some Mana Monkeys, some Ape Spirits in here. We trim on lands, because who needs lands when you have Mana Monkeys? This hand is really terrible. Remember earlier when I said you don't want one Narcomoeba in your hand? You really don't want 3 Narcomoebas in your hand. God, this hand is pretty bad as well. If this was a discard spell, it'd be literally perfect, but am I on the draw? I am on the draw. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand is great. Darkblast. Do I want to keep that as a guaranteed second dredger? I'm gonna bottom that. Bottom that, I could do better. Could do better. Watch it be a matchup where just like Darkblast is the stones. Darkblast probably not good against Street Wraith on 1. Mishra's Bubble. That kinda sucks. Now I'm really glad we bought him that Darkblast, since I don't have a good way to get these dredgers into the bin once they take my Faithless Looting here. Cathartic Reunion. Cathartic Reunion. Cathartic Reunion. Cathartic Reunion. Tilt. Well, the good news is, and one of the reasons I like the Mana Monkeys too, in addition to letting you play Cathartic Reunions faster, you can also pitch Spirit Guide to flashback looting sooner. What's my price? It depends on how far the event is. I don't know. My price is probably pretty high. Like, Jody still plays Paper Magic. Paper Magic is a chore. It's like, there's not just the cost of the event, but it also, like, costs me the opportunity cost of, like, being able to stream. Because, like, I could spend that Magic time going to a tournament that's bad value, but then, like, in addition to, like, getting medium value at the tournament, I also, like, I also then don't get to play Magic online on the weekend streaming. So, like, I have to spend more time doing content to make up for that then. A lot of variables. Sorry, I need to not tap on my desk because I know it resonates with the microphone. A bad habit. I twitch and I bounce back and forth and my leg bobs. I play Magic online on my tablet. I have Lenovo Yoga, runs pretty well. Interesting that they took the Neonate as opposed to the looting. I guess the Neonate blocks. God, we bricked on another dredger. Oh, I discarded my Loam, so I can't cast one. I should have discarded this. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, I guess I can... Oh, it's not too bad. I can flashback this now. Yeah, I'm done. This is fine. This is fine. My brain in my head had a plan. It's a much better plan than what I thought about doing at first. All right, this is much better. We had a Stinkweed Imp here finally. So one of the things you want to remember when you're playing Dredge is that Stinkweed Imp has a casting cost. You can block with Stinkweed Imp. Not only can you block with Stinkweed Imp, but it has pseudo death touch. We didn't hit 4 amalgams. How unlucky. Ain't that the truth? If they have a removal spell for this here, we're gonna be dead. But it is what it is. If they don't have a removal spell here, we could really get going this next turn. We get to Loam into some lands, and then floop a Bloodghast into play, and then floop an Amalgam into play or so. We need to dodge removal for 2 turns here. I guess we need to dodge another threat technically too. So a lot of things that are bad for us here. Hopefully they just have like lands and discard spells. Needs more Vengeful Pharaoh. Yep, another threat. Oh, it's only a 1/1. That's good for us. It's good for us for the time being. Cast this. Get back lands that don't kill me. Well, so people often talk about Death Shadow being a hidden gem, but really it wasn't hidden, right? Like this deck just Okay, sorry, I got you. So this deck wasn't just hidden in Modern, it needed to gain new cards to be what it is today. Yes, Anorex is the top cheers. Bloodghast would be so messed up if it could block. Do they have a Gorkline Rampager? Dead to Rampager. Misty. Oh, we're dead to that too, right? Yeah, okay. Got it. Good line, opponent. Good line. Alright, so this is a Decay matchup. This is a Lightning Axe matchup. This is a Conflagrate matchup because they go low a lot of the time. Darkblast is bad. Driven to Despair seems medium. Insolent Neonate is basically a clean swap for Lightning Axe. I mean, Lantern wasn't even really a hidden gem either. Part of the reason why the Lantern deck is as powerful as it is today is because of War of Invention. Yes, the kinda shell of that deck existed, but the card that really put it over the top and made it tier 1 and the monster that won the Pro Tour is the fact that it gained a new card that gave it new utility. Stubborn Denial is also a moderately recent card as well, in terms of like a format that's as old as Modern, right? Like 3 years versus like a decade old. Traverse the Ulvenwald is also a card that's in the last few years. Fatal Push is the most recent, but there's like a collection of cards that have like been printed over the last 2 to 3 years. So like it's not like the current Death Shadow decks could have been found 5 years ago and just weren't there. It's just like they're using cards like Tasigur and Fatal Push and Stubborn Denial, like all these other cards that were good. Sure, but when it won that Grand Prix, it wasn't as good as it was today. When Lantern won that Grand Prix, it was like, oh, that's kind of neat, and it's like a tier 2 deck. This is something that's going to be annoying to play against occasionally. I firmly believe Lantern in its current state is a tier 1 deck in Modern, and that's because it has War of Invention. Can I keep this hand with a Scry? I really can't, right? Because they're just going to play a discard spell. I want to take my Cathartic Reunion to make me sad. Yeah, seems good. Yeah, that's fine. I want to flip a Narcomoeba into play. I was just asking because Seth is a series of goes just where he goes through sets and finds cards that aren't used. It could be that Furious Appeared Shells. I was wondering if it thought so as well. I don't know. I think there's probably cards that are like powerful that don't have a right home yet, but I think a lot of those cards don't have homes because they still need good supporting cards to be printed around them, just like we had good supporting cards printed for Death Shadow to be good. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I think the current Lantern deck is very, very good. Oh, this was a mistake. I should have done this during their second main phase, because if we hit a Amalgam here with this Narcomoeba, we're gonna miss an attack. Okay, not punished for my timing mistake. Haven't played Dredge a ton recently, so I punted that. Dredge this life from the Loam. We topped Narcomoeba because we were gonna dredge it into play. That's why we topped Narcomoeba. I doubt there will be a lands deck ever in Modern because they're pretty conservative with the abilities they put on lands. Like, the lands that make lands decks playable in Legacy are pretty up that just don't see play anymore. I'm just casting this and grabbing these 2 lands. Feels bad to Loam my Dakmor Salvage, but I kind of just want to use my mana this turn. Deal. Okay, so you were timed out because you presented a typical Magic player. This argument is irrelevant because not everyone plays burn, so one bad matchup doesn't invalidate a deck. If one bad matchup invalidated a deck, no deck would ever be competitive in Modern because every deck in Modern has some matchup that, to quote the monkey that just got whatever butt plugged. Like who even says that? Gets butt plugged? Like, I've heard some stupid ways to phrase things before, but butt plugged is definitely towards the top of this is a stupid way to say gets beat by. It's not even unpleasant. Alright, so drawing this land means that I can dredge Stinkweed Imp and cast it next turn to block their stuff. Just get Declan started on the bad trolls earlier. Someone asked about the mana base. Yeah, personally, I don't know that I'm a fan of the mono rainbow land mana base. I do know that this variation that's been submitted as a donation deck list isn't the only one. Like, there's a non-zero amount of dredge lists that play these rainbow mana bases, but I don't know that I'm a fan of them. All right, we hit an amalgam, I guess, finally. I'm holding this land for when we dredge into a Bloodghast eventually. Yeah, the rainbow lands hurt a lot, and I feel like we're not really utilizing the upside that we can get from them properly. If opponent has a Temur Battle Rage here, we're going to be pretty dead. Literally dead? Might be literally dead if they have a Temur Battle Rage. Alright. Maybe we can steal with this Conflagrate, but the fact that they stubbed a Loam earlier makes me think that they probably did the Temur Battle Rage here. This feels like a Battle Rage push. I try and trade and jump. I haven't really been paying attention to Standard. There's just so many people that have sent in so many Modern donation deck lists. I have 2 Standard donation deck lists in the queue that we're gonna have to play through at some point, but I probably just shouldn't have accepted them because there's just so much Modern Legacy to play. It's just, I feel like Standard kind of feels like an abusive X at this point. I feel like I gave it so much of my time and energy for so long and just got like constantly spit on and put down for a year straight that it's just like, I don't really want to go back to them because I've done nothing but get abused by them for the last year. It's just like, well, it's probably good now. They've probably changed, but like, you spit on me for a year in a row. That felt really bad. I don't really want to do that again. What if you didn't actually change? What if you didn't actually change? And it's just like exceptionally hard to like justify going back to it when like both Modern and Legacy are pretty reasonable right now and I've been enjoying playing them. Both Modern and Legacy have been enjoyable, and we've got a ton of donation decks for it, so I think I'm gonna hammer out those Standard lists probably next week. Maybe it'll be the week after next, actually, because next week is Indie, so I probably want to play a bunch of Modern before that. Show us on the doll where Standard hurts you. Alright, so we're 2-2. We're 2-2. God, this hand is so close to being amazing. Oh, the mulligan. If you don't like to mulligan, this is certainly not the deck for you. This hand's pretty good. I get a Scry, I get a Faithless Looting. We just need to hit a second land. Bottom that. So we get 2 shots. We really need to hit a land in these 2 draws with this Faithless Looting. So the reason why I'm leading, God bless it. All right, we hit a Spirit Guide, so that's like a pseudo land, right? The reason why I led on the looting as opposed to the Neonate there, if I had the guaranteed second mana source in my hand for the Cathartic Reunion already, I would have led on the Neonate to get dredging sooner, but because I needed to find a second mana source, we wanted to draw cards anyway, so there's no reason to start dredging quickly. Yeah, a big part of what makes Standard not fun to me for the most part is that, like, the fact that the threats are still just like really good, right? Did I miss on hitting another dredger there? Man, I'm glad I have this Cathartic Reunion. Good lord. I mean, I guess at least I hit a Narcomoeba and an Amalgam here, but not only did I miss on hitting more dredgers there, but we missed on drawing a second land too. I mean, I guess I could take another draw step next turn, right? Because I have to. Get to take another draw step. Have to take another draw step. You know, tomato, tomato, really. Iron, if you're watching this on replay, I just want you to know that it's going to be a long time before we play that other Dredge League. This deck just does me dirty. This deck just does me dirty. What a tilt. I don't know that it needs Grave Troll. I think this deck is fine and reasonably powerful. You just, like, need to hope to dodge the hate that your opponent inevitably has. We do get another chance to draw a land here and get our Cathartic Reunion mana leaked or whatever. Land, please. Land, please. Ding. Bum 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 bum. Ding 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 ding. Fulgrim, you're lucky. I almost instinctually went to time you out there, but you've got the anti-timeout badge next to your name. I actually, for the record, I've played the deck with and without Spirit Guides, and I actually really like the Spirit Guides in the deck. The last time I played this deck, I ended up cutting the Street Wraiths for more action, which I think is a reasonable decision. But I actually do kind of like the inclusion of Mana Monkey in this deck. It really helps some of your bad matchups. So I have a Conflagrate in my bin. They don't have another counter spell. They could potentially kill them this turn. This is like 110% a Snapcaster Mage, right? Let's play Goblin Lore and Dredge. I think if you're playing the more traditional build without Mana Monkey, the what's it called is fine. Whatever that card is in fact a Snapcaster. Oh, should I attack with this? If I attack with this, I could potentially take... Ah, fuck it. Are we gonna die? We've lost way too many game ones today. Lost way too many game ones today. God, we're gonna lose this game when they never flip their Delvers. Maybe they just have 5 lands in hand, you know, like 5 lands, another Delver. They just have 5 lands Delver. I just get Vapor snagged. Does that make me asking the important questions? Does this make me a monster? So I'm dead. I just have Bolt here, Bolt Helix. Boros Charm. Oh yeah, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. I can't play the rest of this match. Let's just... Well, I'm not trying to play through Graveyard Hate for two games. That sounds miserable. So Dredge. I think there's a reason this deck had a miserable Pro Tour. Like 17 people registered it. It had, where's my data? I'm not gonna make up numbers. My data is here somewhere. Where's my data at? Where's my data at? Gaming, Magic, ETRX data. All right, so let's zoom in here for everyone that's on those low resolution screens. Can I zoom in? You gonna let me? Hey, zoom. So Dredge, if we sort by performance rating here, Dredge had the 2nd worst performance rating at the PT out of the popular decks. And it was marginally better than Storm and marginally better than Rogue decks, which also, this is funny. My article on Gathering Magic on Friday is going to be talking about this data and breaking down how I calculated this performance metric and stuff, but like these decks, everything, what you need to know is everything here below 1.0, these decks performed pretty poorly. Especially when you get down below like 8, like Counters Company, Blue White Control, Dredge, Storm, these extra rogue decks, like these decks did really terrible. Hey, yeah. So I think part of the reason Dredge did so poorly too is that I don't think there was a lot of graveyard hate in the format because of Dredge. I think Dredge did poorly because there's a lot of incidental graveyard hate in the format because of Storm. Like Storm was kind of like the talk of like decks we expected people to play at the Pro Tour, and people were just boarding graveyard hate to beat Storm, so they like beat Dredge by instantly. Storm did terribly because the decks that people showed up with en masse, the 8x discard decks, have good Storm matchups. Yeah, Dredge is taking a lot of splash hate. Storm's popularity has not been good for Dredge. So this is what I would recommend doing with Dredge. That's my it's my Dredge advice. Right click, delete deck.